The 2-minute instant noodle brand Maggi might be back in the market, setting sales through e-commerce on fire, but legal troubles for Maggi seem to be rising. The centre has backed the Maharashtra government's decision to challenge the Bombay High Court order before the Supreme Court. Government sources tell India Today that Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi has been consulted and will be representing the state of Maharashtra at the Apex Court, seeking to reinforce the ban on Nestle's most popular product. Right, no end to troubles for Nestle's instant noodle brand Maggi after it came back on the shelves last week, and we saw sales peaking, especially during Diwali. We're now being told that the Maharashtra government is expected to challenge the Bombay High Court order giving the instant noodle brand a clean chit. The centre also backing Maharashtra government's move. We're being told that Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi will be representing the Maharashtra government before the Supreme Court. This despite the fact that the instant noodle brand has been given a clean chit from several laboratories. In fact, Nestle also issued a statement saying that once their products are ready, once their stock is ready, they will be once again testing those samples and will be releasing them in the market after getting a clean chit from the FDA. No end to legal troubles for Maggi. The Maharashtra government has now sought help from the centre to challenge the lifting of ban on the instant noodle brand. Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi is expected to represent the Maharashtra government in the Supreme Court. Let's get a word from Anusha Soni, who's with us on the phone line. Anusha, if you could please break this down for us. What is the Maharashtra government's contention with Maggi noodles coming back to the shelves, considering that they've already gotten a clean chit from labs?
To put it into perspective for our viewers, yes, Maggi is back in the market, and the way it is back in the market is relying on the Bombay High Court order and the subsequent testing which was done, in which it had cleared the test. Now, what Bombay High Court order had said that there needs to be a fresh testing, but now the Maharashtra government is coming forward and challenging the very basic tests that were conducted. Maharashtra government's argument is that the food regulator has certain norms to which the laboratories must adhere to. These 3 laboratories, which were recommended by Nestle in the court, in the Bombay High Court, do not conform to these guidelines, and hence this testing done is not valid. That's the key argument of the Maharashtra government. The next big movement is the fact that Maharashtra government actually consulted the centre, the law ministry, and also Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi about this entire legal challenge. And there have been inputs from the union and the centre to this legal challenge at the Supreme Court. And as you pointed out, Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi is himself likely to appear for the state of Maharashtra with the prayer that the ban on Maggi should be reinstated.
Right, Anusha, stay on with us. We're also being joined by Arvind Singhal, founder Technopack, who's with us on the phone line. Thanks so much for speaking to India Today. Mr. Singhal, your reaction to these developments?
I'm personally extremely disappointed that the government should actually try to put a final stop to the Maggi controversy. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and it only actually is creating a very bad image for India, both within India and outside India. I think the government is acting in this particular instance more out of a sense of false sense of prestige rather than going by the merits of the case. This is my personal opinion on this.
Right, but Mr. Singhal, I want to understand, Maggi, before the Maharashtra government granted it clearance, there were some tests that were conducted, and only after its safety was established that the Bombay High Court said that it could be now, it could make a comeback into the market. Why is the Maharashtra government now challenging the authenticity of the tests that were conducted in the state?
It is more a question of ego issue, it looks to me, rather than, being pragmatic about trying to find a solution to a real problem there. Now, the fact is that some months ago, when this controversy erupted, I think a lot of states in India just, jumped the gun, so to say, and took steps which are extreme in nature. Having said so, and the damage was caused to Nestle on account of this, various kinds of tests have apparently proved that there is nothing which is non-compliant when it comes to the regulations relating to Maggi. Despite that, the government has chosen to disregard, in a way, the Bombay High Court judgment and now wants to take the matter up to the Supreme Court. Of course, they have a right to do so. but I'm not very sure as to what is the merit behind doing it, other than trying to prove that you were right at one point in time.
Right,
That's the way I see it.
and Mr. Singhal, I also want to find out, there was a time when several states had banned Maggi. There's no other state government which is challenging lifting of this ban, except for Maharashtra.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't find, I'm not a legal expert, at all. But I think it is more a question of making it a prestige issue rather than a business, situation.
All right, so you're saying it's a prestige issue rather than a business decision. And what do you have to say about the state, about the central government also now coming out and backing the state government? We're being told that Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi will be representing the state government in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, so again, like I said, I'm not a legal expert. I really don't know what basis do they have to go to the Supreme Court. I'm sure they would find some basis to doing so. But I think the pragmatic issue is like this: the testing has proven apparently there's nothing wrong with the product. The company has reconfirmed that it is compliant and will remain to be compliant. I think the government should just move on. There are far bigger challenges as far as food safety in India is concerned than single out a particular company as if it is the only non-compliant company in the country.
Right, but Mr. Singhal, why is it that the government is only going after Maggi? Is there a backstory that we don't know about, or is the government actually, or does the government actually feel that this product is actually unsafe for consumption?
I'm not sure whether there is any kind of a conspiracy theory. At least I'm not aware of one. I still maintain in a simplistic manner that it is.
Then why are you saying that the government's claim is incorrect?
I'm only assuming that purely it's a matter of a prestige issue which has been made by some individuals in the government of Maharashtra in this case.
All right, Mr. Arvind Singhal, thanks so much for speaking to India Today. No end to trouble for the instant noodle brand. After the Bombay High Court lifted the ban on Maggi noodles, the state government expected to approach the Supreme Court. We're being told that Mukul Rohatgi, the Attorney General, will be representing the state of Maharashtra before the Supreme Court. We have Anusha Soni from the national capital and Vidya from Mumbai on the phone line with us. Vidya, take us through developments on the ground. Why is the Maharashtra government unwilling to let this go? What is the argument being put forth? Does it actually not rely on these lab reports that Nestle has presented to show that the noodle brand is safe? And if not, what is it that it wants Nestle to do to sort of give it a clean chit? What does the Maharashtra government expect of Nestle?
Well, Maharashtra government has been saying that the accredited labs that they have, where FDA had earlier tested them, and it was only after the test results that the banning of Maggi had come into act. In fact, what the Maharashtra government has been saying is that it's not what the lab tests where the tests have been done according to Bombay High Court's order, but the tests have to be done in those labs specified by Maharashtra government, and only after those tests are done and the results out, will they be able to let go of this entire banning. And that's one of the reasons why they are actually, they had contemplated this entire, appeal in Supreme Court against the Bombay High Court's order.
Vidya and Anusha, thanks so much for that update. We're going to keep coming back to you for more developments. Mukul Rohatgi expected to represent the Maharashtra government before the Supreme Court. The government, remember, challenging the lifting of a ban on Maggi noodles.
जहाँ तक यादें याद आती रहेगी